As you step into something new this month, pace yourself. What Spirit kept showing me was someone trying to eat a sandwich in one bite. And for some of you, this could represent learning a new task or a new ability, maybe for those of you that are students or going through training. It can also be this desire to perfectly step into something knowing everything when that's not sustainable, it's not realistic, and nobody, maybe except for you, is expecting that kind of knowledge or ability to absorb. One bite, one step, one day at a time. The second thing that Spirit was showing me was attention to detail. So for some of you, this can actually help you succeed because other people may miss something that your eyes, ears, and sensibility picks up on. So pay attention to the little things in contracts. Pay attention to the things that people are saying. It could be a coworker, a customer, a friend. People give us hints all the time. The universe is dropping them consistently, but a lot of times we're so wrapped up in the moment that we miss that. The other thing is to make sure that you aren't sort of forgetting something that you've agreed to. So especially when it comes to contracts, read the fine print, ask questions, and make sure that you're not missing something. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. This reading is for Pisces. It's good for 30 days, starting August 28th, going all the way through September 28th. And by the way, it's really good to see you, Pisces. The reason I've been a little bit off the radar has been because I made a move. I moved from Southern California to Spain, and that's just shy of 6,000 miles, which means that I had to I had to take some time to basically pack, unpack, and get situated. What you see behind me is a temporary space. I'll be here for about 3 months, and then hopefully I can find a place to be for a little bit longer. Anyway, I just want to say thanks. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. That way you won't miss out when I post videos. You should also give my daily and my weekly videos a try too, for those of you that just watch the monthlies, because I've been here for the past couple of months. It's just been the monthlies that have been a little inconsistent. As you can see, Apollo's taking a little nap, so we'll just give him a quick little scratch on the head, and then we'll begin. We also got a bonus card here with the World. All right, I like what I see here in the deep past. We have the Emperor, otherwise known as the Green Man in this particular deck, and the word that keeps coming through from Spirit is accountability. So there's an encouragement, a push, a nudge to keep your promises. Also, this is about leadership. If there's something that you really want or you really need, it's about stepping up to the plate and saying, I'm going to do this. Leading, modeling the behavior that you want, that you need, and hopefully inspiring others to follow suit. This is also a card of getting organized, and if there's anything in your life that feels a little out of sorts, take a moment and pull in the reins and say, I'm going to do this. So accountability, leadership, ownership, power, and empowerment are all coming through. And this card is kind of showing me the work that you've done up until this point, and it really portends good things because this usually only appears when you've been putting in the work on the inside to feel stronger, more confident, and more able. Now, if there's still some insecurity that might be bubbling up to the surface, what we see here is it's an old cycle, and if you're ready and if you're willing, you can move past this. Also, look at all the creative energy. Typically, the Emperor is sitting on his throne. It's kind of a passive card, but in this one, the Green Man is very much hands-on, rolled up his sleeves. He's making something happen. So what are you doing in this moment to bring a dream, a goal, or a desire to the next level? Whatever you want to put your energy into, you should see a great return on it. All right, let's move from your deep past into the present. And we have a very interesting card here with the Seven of Swords. So a couple of moments ago when we were looking at the Emperor, I kept saying accountability was key. When we look at this particular Seven of Swords, it becomes abundantly clear why that is the case. So this person is kind of tied up in chains or these sort of tendrils from the thicket behind them, and all the swords kind of pinning them in place. And this is because sometimes we make a commitment and we don't keep it. Don't overextend yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And that actually is a little bit closer to the traditional version of the Seven of Swords, making sure that what you say is true and what you say is doable. Okay, so that's one nuance of this card. I'd like to look at the traditional version for some other ones. So sometimes there can be a distraction that's going on. So in the very background, there's a bunch of people arguing and they're missing what's going on in the foreground. Someone's taking advantage of that distraction and getting away with something. Stay focused on what matters. Don't let a smokescreen pull your attention from something that's really important. I mentioned contracts. There might be something in the small print, the fine print, that is asking for too much, that is taking more from you than it should. So negotiate, get a good set of eyes there, particularly a lawyer, and make sure that you're understanding what you're agreeing to, and call out anything that isn't fair for that matter. If there's someone acting foolish in your life, we get the reason why. They may simply be insecure and they don't know what to do, so they're sabotaging, because there is a sabotaging energy with the Seven of Swords. It could be the inner saboteur, where you do or say something that you know is going to blow up and you do it anyway, or it could be someone around you that figures, I'm just going to blow this up before something happens. Either way, it's a saboteur kind of energy, and wherever it appears, here's the cool thing. I don't think that this is going to happen again. I feel like this is a final chapter, so call it out, ask for the person to stop, ask why it happened. Is it because of miscommunication or just because of poor judgment? Either way, we want to move beyond this. There's something going on here or around you that could be like a smokescreen, and it could steal your focus from an otherwise really good spread. And again, don't think too much about why someone might be doing it. They may just be insecure, they may not be thinking, but either way, it's better that you know now. Also, think of the angel and the devil that sits on your shoulders. Sometimes the devil can be the 5 or the 7 of swords. When it's the 7 of swords, it's convincing you that something isn't going to matter, that you can get away with something. Know this, if there's something that you're not telling the truth about, it will come out. So it's better to be honest. And if something needs to be discussed, just come forward and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I should have done this. Own it and fix it, and then move onward. And this is really what you're looking for in other people too, is accountability. The good news here, though, is there's so much great stuff coming that this is just a temporary sort of like distraction. So there were 2 cards. You probably heard me say, oh, we just got a bonus. So when I was pulling the deck and putting it back on the table, one of them flew out. The one that flew out was the World card, which is, this is why I'm saying whatever that 7 of Swords is, it feels fleeting or temporary. King of Swords is communication, public speaking, the ability for you to use your voice and your ideas in a way that can really make an impact. Maybe some of you are, again, doing public speaking, writing something, teaching, mentoring. Also, you're just very much following through on your plans, walking the walk and talking the talk. And there's a chance here for publication, distribution, and also exposure in a really good way. The World card is also the end of something, like a really grand ending or a grand opening, because ends and beginnings are often coupled. This is a time for you to get out there, to be seen, to be heard, and to make a splash. The other thing here is I feel like some of you are stepping into the position of a guide. Like, this is how I got through this. And you might be putting together sort of like a self-help or a how-to book. Perfectly aligned, perfectly timed. If you want to teach, if you want to mentor, if you want to share your knowledge and distribute that knowledge, this is the time for that. The World card is also connected with moving up, moving on, moving out. So there may be a physical move, similar to what I just did. There might be a chance for you to get a better position at work. Some of you might be graduating, retiring, getting married, getting divorced. Big life changes, but unlike the Tower, these are typically only positive, and you're very much in the driver's seat creating this movement. Now, there could be this little discombobulating moment here as I look at the labyrinth or maze in front of this tree where it's like, okay, I got through this. Now what? Pause. Give yourself a moment. Talk to some other people. King of Swords is great at communicating and absorbing from others, and see how they did it. This is a chance for you to really have some fun with things and spread your wings, since we have a bird on that as well. Okay, I would like to look at a catalyst. What can you do now to expand even further than you currently have, and maybe even surprise yourself? We have the dragonfly, one of the best symbols that you can get when it comes to an insect totem. Why, you ask? Well, it's connected with metamorphosis. It has multiple phases, just like a butterfly. It lives part of its life like in the water, part in the air. So we also see this ability to rise above any sort of emotional tumults or to use your passion and again, kind of spread that into the world in a way that's exciting. Dragonflies also can navigate in a lot of different directions, just like a hummingbird. They're kind of like this helicopter that can go in all directions. So you're not stuck. Even if there's this illusion that there's only one way through, the dragonfly would simply rise up above the maze and find another path. There's other directions, other dimensions, and the dragonfly is very adept at seeing past limitations. So ask yourself, what am I missing? What else might I try? What direction would I go into if there were no constraints? When you start to remove these and just imagine the possibilities, you get very good at calling in those synchronicities that allow this to happen. Why don't we expand this forecast now to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny? We'll start off with health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. So as we're looking at health here, we have the Seven of Cups. You know, it's very interesting that they chose the word morning on this one because I wouldn't really associate the Seven of Cups with that typically. To me, that's more of a, what is it, the Five of Cups? I'm going to pull that while we're talking. But what the Seven of Cups can represent is a preoccupation with something or a lingering thought. So maybe some of you are thinking about someone or something that has come to pass and you're wondering, gosh, why didn't that happen? Or why isn't this person here? Or I wish they could see me. So I can see it in that perspective. So here's your Five of Cups that I think this is the correct card for mourning because you can literally see the person processing the loss, processing what hasn't happened with these three cups. The traditional Seven of Cups is more this. It's thinking, pondering, and grief can take place in this part of your mind as well. So sometimes we think, what would my mother have done? Or what would my grandmother have thought? Or what would my friend have done if they were in this situation? So it could be that kind of mourning, even though it's not the traditional sort of like Five of Cups moment. It's like, what would they think of this? So if that's happening, know this. First of all, the fact that we see the Seven of Cups means that there's a connection in spirit. You can just tune in and you'll feel a connection and an inner knowing. They probably would want me to do this. Or I know that they're proud of me, or I know that they're here. And this is an acknowledgement of that, okay? Now let's move on to more traditional interpretations. When it comes to your health, this has to do with distraction. So there may be too much going on at work or at home or just, again, within you emotionally to focus. So whatever you need to do to feel more grounded, like meditating, exercising, getting ample rest, that can help with overall cognitive health and the ability to focus. There could also be someone in your life that's having a hard time remembering things. So this can sometimes come through when there's dementia or brain trauma, or again, sometimes it's just hormonal, like if you've been going through a lot, or if you're pregnant, or if there's anything that's happening where your body's chemistry is off a little bit, it's often ephemeral or temporary. But obviously, when these situations pop up, you want to work with a doctor, and you also want to take care of yourself. And if there's anyone around you that's going through it, ask them what you can do to be of assistance. General messages around other aspects of your health is this is getting informed. So if there's a major decision around like an elective surgery or something that's changing in your health, talk to someone else, get informed, read things online. This is about exploring all the options in front of you before landing on one possibility, okay? All right, a couple of additional high-level notes before we move on to the next category. It's important to take a hands-on approach. Make sure that you're, rolling up your sleeves, getting informed, learning what you need to learn, asking questions, getting answers. Be honest with yourself, be honest with your healthcare professional. And if you're married to someone who isn't being honest, or if there's someone in your family that isn't, have an aside. Talk to them first, but if need be, talk to the healthcare professional so they have the full picture. A change of environment could be quite beneficial. One thing that could be going on beneath the surface for some of you is some seasonal allergies that could be affecting nasal draining around the throat. Other things that the King of Swords can connect to are the larynx, the voice box, even the upper part of the spine here where the neck connects to it. So just make sure everything around the throat and the throat chakra are where they need to be. Environmental toxins could be playing a role for some of you. And that's pretty much everything. So let's move on to the next category here, which is wealth, your resources, your life purpose, and your career. So in the energy of wealth, we have the mirror, which is the same as the Hanged Man in Rider-Waite-Smith. But the fact that they chose to illustrate it like this, I really want to focus on that for a moment. What do mirrors do? They reflect. So if there's a delay in your life, it's asking you to reflect upon what else might be around you, why the delay may be so triggering, and to look beneath the surface and see if there's something you missed. Remember, I talked about the details. There might be something, the devil's in the details. And so there's something here you're being asked to review. So a Hanged Man comes through as a blessing in disguise, a frustrating blessing, but it's a blessing. And as you can see here, he actually has a halo. This isn't a card of someone suffering. It's really someone that is learning from the pause or the delay in front of them. If you go into the mythology of it, Odin, on his own volition, decided to hang upside down from the Tree of Knowledge so that he could learn the secrets of the runes. It took some time, it took some energy, a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears. So you can make the most of this delay, whatever's in front of you that isn't going as expected. There may be something better that comes through, and it's not a concession sort of prize. It's actually like an upgrade, an improvement, or you might be saved from going through something that wouldn't have been ideal. So a meaningful, necessary, and maybe even enlightening pause that's coming through. In this mirror card, we also see a funeral pyre. And if we couple this with the World card, it's an end of a cycle. It could also be the end of delays in your life. So this might be the last final delay that you have to go through, but it's, like I said, a meaningful one at that. And she's also holding that mirror close to her heart. And so she now knows what something truly is. When a revelation moment happens, and remember, you also got the Seven of Swords here. So when someone reveals their true self, see it, know it, and decide what you're going to do about it and do with it. Because these are also blessings in disguise. We don't always want to have that energy of revelation come through, but when it does, we won't make the same mistake twice. So that's my advice there. Let's go ahead and go a little bit deeper and break this down into a few subcategories. So again, we're looking at wealth, and we're going to start off here with the energy of those of you that are presently employed. So if you currently have a job, here's what I see. First of all, with the Seven of Cups here, there may be a lack of leadership. A lot of times that card makes an appearance when somebody just isn't communicating very well, the goals, the initiatives, or you're just sitting there and thinking, what am I doing again? Why am I doing this? So ask a question, okay? You have a chance to step up. And if you see any nonsense going on, don't be a part of it, because like I said earlier, it has a way of getting back to people that are not going to be happy about it. So separate yourself from anything that isn't honest, isn't moral, isn't right. If you need to call attention to it, please do that. But if it's something that you just don't want to get involved with, focus your energy on something else. You might have a chance for either promotion or a move, but you need to talk about it or sort of express interest in it to make this happen. If you're flexible here, the dragonfly shows also that this ability to either get promoted or try something new could actually come through quicker than you think, which can then help you overcome the challenges of the Hanged Man. Sometimes you just have to pause and see something else. There may be something that you hadn't even considered, and because something else didn't come through, you're like, well, what if I try that instead? Be very open to these sort of forks in the road. I think this is what this moment in time is all about, okay? Let's move on to entrepreneurs. It's so vital in this moment in time that you are absolutely honest with customers, employees, and with yourself. If something can't happen, like if you can't make a shipment or if a product's going to get delayed, just be honest about that. What I'm also getting, speaking of the delays, is to look for a different distribution channel. It's like super specific, but there might be delays in the old channel, and you might decide to choose someone in a different country to help with some of the distribution. Again, you're being asked to be flexible here, but being able to come forward with a solution owning the problem, owning the solution as well. This could actually set you up in a very positive light. Say, I know there's been challenges, there's been feedback, there's been concerns, here's what we're going to do about it. That is exactly what people are looking for, stepping up and being honest. You can also seek some feedback like, well, what do you think? Getting customer sort of surveys out there, talking to existing employees, listening to what's going on in the market. And if there's anything in your marketing that is not clear, we want to clarify it a little bit. The Seven of Cups is not what you're going after. The only thing that's good about Seven of Cups is the blue sky energy, like the sky is the limit. So that's a very good energy to have. But other than that, stay focused, stay clear. Moving onward to those that are seeking work. Can you find something? Absolutely. Be open and flexible to travel or to maybe do some telecommuting because the world is not typically something in your own backyard. So if you're ready to travel or willing to move, there could be something there for you. One of the options on the table is not what it's cut up to be, or cut out to be rather. And I feel like you're going to just have delays associated with it. So if you've ever had a company where they need like 3, 5, 7 rounds of interviews and they're delaying on their answers, go somewhere else. They don't know what they're looking for. You can do better. And those delays are encouraging you to look in a new direction. Because again, going back to the traditional hanged man, it's like, look over here, look over there, look somewhere else besides here. This isn't it. And if something seems wrong, here's the thing. Can you negotiate it out of the contract? Sure. But do you still want to work with someone who was trying to get away with something? In my own sort of experience, it doesn't work out well. So when someone reveals their character, see it, know it, and maybe go in a new direction, okay? Students, overall, things look good here, particularly with the World card and the King of Swords. You are being asked, by the way, to work on your language, communication, and presentation skills. We like that. You have a chance here to really learn a lot about something and feel this sense of confidence, which I picked up on in the beginning. But there might be someone around you that tries to get away with something. Maybe they're not citing their sources. Maybe they're trying to get you to do something, or they're trying to cheat or learn from you or whatever. Like, let's separate ourselves from that. Be honest, work with integrity, separate yourself from anyone that isn't. And whenever it comes to any of your citing of sources, always make sure that everything is clear and honest there. You might have a teacher or a class where things are just like super confusing with that Seven of Cups. So ask for the clarity that you need. And if something isn't clear, don't fake it. Don't pretend that it is, okay? I think right now slowing down is the key. So I don't feel like you have too much or too little on your plate, but just that you need to kind of like slow down, drink in the moment, and not make any major changes in this moment in time. Just sort of like really sit and absorb as much as possible. Before we go into retirees, I have a card here that's basically sitting in both of these categories. I was looking at the dragonfly and the word pilot came to mind. Some of you may be deciding to learn how to fly, like how to fly a plane, or you're learning some sort of navigational expertise, but I was seeing a pilot. That could be exciting. And for those of you that are retired, it's a reminder that it's never too late to pick up a new skill. And I think that's the big takeaway here, because there's an illusion with the mirror of being stuck. And with the Seven of Cups, there's this sort of like daydreaming quality and questioning, like there's got to be something more, there's got to be something else. So in this card, it's about exploration. And the King of Swords is also about getting out there, talking to others, listening to others, asking questions. What do you like? How did you do that? And asking yourself, what else can I do? And this is saying, think really, really big when it comes to that as a retiree. This is just the beginning. You can get a bird's eye view of things and soak in the energy, in a way that you wouldn't have been able to when you were younger. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to allow a dream to take flight. And for some of you also, there is this sort of like also permission to just say no more frequently, because the Seven of Swords sometimes comes through when we agree to something that we just know that we don't want to do. So with age comes wisdom and boldness. Just be bold and be honest with yourself and with others. Let's take a quick look at love and see what's coming through for all types of relationships. In this deck, the wood word is strength. They flipped 8 and 11, justice and strength. And what I like about this version of the Strength card is we see the embodiment of both. So he's basically walking a mile in the foot of this lynx or this cat that's right by him. So it reminds me of the old Depeche Mode song, Try Walking in My Shoes, right? And there's another line in there that like you'd stumble in my footsteps. Empathy is so important in relationships. Really put yourself in that person's position and see if you don't have a little bit more understanding or empathy for what it is they're going through. Now, looking at it from the more traditional point of view, this can also be a moment where you have to stand up for yourself. There may also be someone in your life that's pressuring you to do something, and in this situation, stand your ground. They're persuasive. They may even be a little bit bold or invasive in your own space. So ask for the boundaries, the limits, the space that you need to breathe. Quickly looking at this from 3 different perspectives. If you're in a relationship, all that we just said holds true, but also you have the power and the strength to get through anything. One of the challenges is the similarity. You're so close to each other that sometimes it's hard to win an argument, and there really is no such thing as winning or losing when it comes to arguments anyway, but suffice it to say, honesty and integrity is key. If someone did something wrong or didn't follow through on a commitment or they didn't tell the truth, ask them what's going on. Like, why did this happen? You know, is something else going on that I don't know about? And then if there isn't, let them know that this isn't something that you want to see happen again. Like, set your boundaries and limits, but always check in to see why that behavior is happening. On the bright side, it does feel like a good heart-to-heart conversation can help you move beyond this, okay? Pause, ask questions and get clarity. Take accountability if you need to. Ask them to take accountability if they need to. Ultimately, it feels like the two of you can find a way to sort this out if you want to, okay? The only thing that I do see here when it comes to family members, friends, or strong personalities around you is they may be getting in the middle of things that they shouldn't be, okay? If you're single and looking, there could be a Leo coming into your life. There also might be someone who isn't truly ready to commit, or they might be hiding something, like they're still in the middle of a divorce. Take your time, slow down, and allow everything to come out when it needs to. You also, it feels like, are calling in someone that you haven't already met. So this may very well be someone from the past that should be left in the past. And what we see here instead is an air sign coming in, yet to be announced, yet to be seen. And I do like the energy around this. It feels very transformational, it feels very karmic. So for some of you, you're just cleaning up some old karma, potentially with a Leo, and letting old sort of energies be in the past and welcoming in something new. Be honest with yourself, be honest with others. That honesty will attract people who have done the same work. If you're single and happy, good for you. This is a period where you can focus on increased physical and mental health, where you might be able to make a significant move, or you could take a project to completion. For those of you that are writers out there, this is publishing, this is distribution, this is good stuff, okay? Now let's take a single look at the Destiny card and see what's coming forth in this moment in time. What's it all about? And then we'll look at a couple of quick bonus cards before we wrap up. All right, for Destiny, we have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is encouraging you to speak it into existence. If you want something, say it. It's also encouraging you to listen to others. What are they asking for? What are they revealing? What inconsistencies might you be picking up on? Because we see some of that with this. Slow down, listen, and pay attention to the signs and signals that are coming through, including your own clairaudience and your own clairsentience, what you feel and what you hear coming from spirit. This is a time where that is bringing you in the right direction if you're ready and willing to listen. Okay, so we have 2 bonus cards that I'm going to be looking at. One of them is a breakthrough and one is a potential block. So let's see what Spirit has to say on this. Actually, for this, I'm going to go with oracle cards for a change for your sign. So the text underneath there is basically telling you to set your sights higher, and then we have like the astronomer coming through. There may be something going on, particularly in your rising sign, that is affecting your ability to see beyond the moment. This is also a reminder that when you just imagine something could be better, then you're setting it out there. Like all of a sudden, a window or a door of opportunity avails itself to you because you set your sights higher. So your breakthrough is just simply seeing that something could be better and believing that, and that believing actually manifests it. And then the potential block here could be your ancestral energy. And moving beyond that is often one of the hardest things to do because we're so used to it, right? It's part of our day-to-day life. And it's saying basically overcome ancestral patterns at the bottom. And if there's been anything in your life where your family's had difficulty with certain health patterns or wealth patterns, like something going on with money or luck and love, whatever it is, you are choosing a different path, thinking to yourself, it ends here with me. I'm going to change my luck, make better luck, etc. Okay? Pretty powerful because both of these have to do with the power of belief and perception. Now let's take a look at one final question, one final card. It can be anything that you need some assistance on. Let's see what Spirit has to say. We've run out of space here. All right, so we have the Eight of Cups here coming through, which is a yes. It's about second chances. So the Eight of Cups often appears when we weren't ready the first time, but things are coming around again, and this time you're different. You've walked the walk. You've been through some challenges. You know what you want. You know what you don't want. So yes, but seize it this time. Seize the opportunity. Some of you are overdue for a vacation, a holiday, or a break. So if you haven't sort of taken a break from the situation, pardon me while I was looking at all of these, the Eight of Cups comes through to say that distance will give you the clarity that you need to make a better decision. And there'll always be room to come back. So buy yourself some time if you need that perspective. Don't rush into something. That's why we also got all that energy around slowing down. And again, there just might be something coming through this time that it's so much easier, it's so much better because you've changed. It's all about renewal and rebirth, okay? That, my friends, is everything. What a pleasure and an honor it's been to be here for you. Like I said before, if you're brand new, even if you've watched for a long time but you've never subscribed, do me a favor, do that. Share the video, leave a comment. It means a lot, it helps the channel, and it's 100% free. There's some other ways that you can give back. Right here on YouTube, you can become a channel member, or when you leave a comment, you can leave a sticker with it. There's so many people on YouTube right now that those little acts of generosity go a long way, so thank you. From my website, you can learn more about me, including all my official social media links. It's basically my name on every major platform, but all the links are on my website. From my website, you can also give back with PayPal. You can book a private reading, or you can sign up for my newsletter. All of these are optional, and I just want to say thank you for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. A reminder again to check out, in addition to these monthlies, the dailies and the weeklies, and hopefully now that I'm somewhat settled, I'll be able to do some other types of videos as well. From my heart to yours, have a great 30-day period ahead. We'll be starting off with October on all signs next month, so thank you again for your patience. See you soon.